Welcome everybody to Dad's Gone Crypto. Today, I want to start with something a little different. Not with Bitcoin, not with the charts, not with companies. I want to start with a moment that I think most dads listening will recognize. It's late at night, the house is quiet, kids are asleep finally. You open up your banking app, not because there's something wrong, not because you're panicking, just to check, just to make sure everything is still there. You look at the balance and think, okay, we're good, we're safe. And the strange part, nothing in that moment feels wrong, and yet something is. The reason nothing feels wrong is because the danger doesn't announce itself anymore. It's not a crash, it's not a bank run, it's not a headline screaming across the screen. It's inflation. Inflation is sneaky because it doesn't feel like a loss. If someone steals $10,000 from you, you feel it immediately. Your body reacts, your emotions react. But inflation just quietly lowers the value of everything you've worked for all your life. Bit by bit, year by year, no alerts, no emails, just erosion. If inflation is sitting around 4%, and you know it's not 4%, it's more like 12 to 14% true value, and you've got $1 million sitting in the bank, you're losing about 40,000 a year, guaranteed. Not because you've made a mistake, not because you took a risk, but because you did what you're told and that it was safe. This is why the conversation lands differently for dads. We don't think in quarters, we don't think in headlines, we think in school years, in bond payments, in medical emergencies. We think in questions like, will my kids be okay if something happens to me? So when someone says cash is safe, what they're really saying is cash feels familiar, and familiar feels comforting. And that's the hard truth. Familiar doesn't mean protection anymore. And at that moment, quietly, without drama, where business owners and companies start asking new questions. If cash is guaranteed to lose value, what's the alternative? And this is where the corporate shift is happening. Online, the story sounds loud. Charts, tweets, arguments, maximalism. But in the real world, the shift doesn't happen on social media. It happens in boardrooms, in spreadsheets, with accountants and CFOs. Quiet people making boring decisions. Right now, public companies collectively hold over
1 million
Bitcoins on their balance sheets, not because they're trying to trade it, not because they're trying to be edgy, but because Bitcoin does something cash doesn't. It doesn't dilute. No committee can print more of it. No policy meeting can quietly water it down. It's just scarce. Now, if you're listening to this and thinking, okay, Sean, but Bitcoin is volatile. You're right. Bitcoin moves up. It goes down, it goes sideways, it does come crazy things. You see it, you feel it. But here's the reframe that changed how serious companies think about risk. Volatility is visible, but inflation is invisible. Bitcoin might move around, but cash only moves one direction over time. And that is, well, you guessed it, down. And once you see that clearly, you can't unsee it. This isn't theory. Some companies treat Bitcoin like a trade and failed. Others treated it like a treasury reserve and changed the way balance sheets work. They were mocked at first and then slowly copied. Michael Saylor, cheers to you, buddy. In Japan, companies operating almost in like a near zero interest rate environment realized something unusual. If borrowing costs close to nothing and your currency constantly weakens, holding cash makes less sense than holding something scarce. So they borrowed cheap money and bought Bitcoin. Not hype, not memes, financial engineering. And in some cases, Bitcoin even became part of an acquisition logic. Companies buying other companies, not for their tech, but for their strength on their balance sheets. And that's when it stopped being a crypto story. It became a treasury story. Now, let's slow it down a bit because this is important. This is not a all-in Bitcoin conversation. Companies still need liquidity. They still need payroll money. They still need operational buffers, which is why we're seeing the rise of tokenized treasuries, the same boring US government debt, the same conservative instruments, just running on smarter rails. Instead of cash sitting idling, losing value, it can earn yield while remaining liquid. No drama, no speculation, just efficiency. This is where the dad-proof model comes in. This is where we kind of bring it all together. Picture a barbell. On one side, stable yield-bearing assets built for survival and operations. On the other side, Bitcoin, scarce, long-term, and inflation-resistant. And in the middle, nothing. No idle cash quietly bleeding value. And honestly, this mirrors parenting perfectly. You don't put everything into excitement. You don't put everything into safety. You balance. This episode isn't about telling anyone what to buy. It's about asking a harder question. Is the way we store value today actually aligned with the future we want for our families? Because in 2026, the biggest risk isn't thinking differently. The biggest risk is assuming that the old rules still protect you. Cash isn't evil. It's just familiar. And sometimes the most dangerous thing of all is familiar. If this episode made you pause, even for a moment, share it with another dad, not to convince them, just to get them thinking. And if you want more conversations like this, calm, honest, and no hype, subscribe to Dad's Gone Crypto. Thank you for tuning in. Take care, guys.
The material and information presented in this recording are for entertainment purposes only. Do not misconstrue what you hear as investment or trading advice. Always do your own research. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by the guests on this recording are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of Dad's Gone Crypto or its hosts.